It's time for Respect the Process, a short chat about commercial filmmaking. Here's your host, director Jordan Brady.
Oh my goodness, Helen. Thank you for that intro. I'm excited because my friend, my brother, Jason Slaughter, first assistant director, first AD extraordinaire, is on the podcast. And we talk about what a first AD does, Jason and I, and how we work with our kids on set, and just we both love camping. But more importantly, we talk about what a first AD does and why that role is so important. And I'll be honest, filmmakers, I have not been putting out the podcasts as fast as Jake Brady has been editing them, or that I recorded, a bunch over the summer. And then some shit happened. And I thought, well, I'll just come in here into the trailer and I'll do like a generic intro, say everybody's name, and get on with it. But everyone is so special, whether I just met them during the interview, or like Jason, I've known him for, I think, over a decade now. So you're really going to enjoy this one. I know you get bored of the announcements. I talk about Magic Mind because they do sponsor the show, and they're so nice, and I actually have been using this product. I'll just give you the brief rundown. It's a calm energy. It gives you focus and sustained energy. Forget the ingredients and that they're good for you, the ashwagandha, the matcha, the nootropics, and the vitamins. Forget, I'm not going to mention any of that. And now I'm so excited because it's now in Target, like a couple hundred Target stores. So whether you go to Target or use the code Brady20 or go to magicmind.com/Jordan Brady, saves 50%. And the Brady 20 is 20%, but I don't know for how long or for what. So I don't care where you get it. I would just want you to try it because I do stay busy, and it helps me stay focused, and it keeps my mind from wandering. It was a busy week. If you listen to the show in chronological order, you know that last week I went in for robotic-assisted radical prostate removal surgery. Ouch. That's a mouthful. And while they're in there, Helen, they took out some pesky lymph nodes. So I'm going back to the doctor tomorrow, and hopefully she'll take this 9-foot tube out of my pee-pee hole. Not a good look. I took the bag that the tube goes into, and I made a little strap, and I've been walking around the neighborhood getting some exercise. But thank you, everyone who has given me the well wishes and the texts and the messages on the socials. It means the world to me. I was reluctant to even talk about it, but I've heard from at least a dozen men and a few women that have talked to men about getting checked. And that's the whole point. Because when I found out in early June to my surgery last week, my PSA score had more than doubled. It's almost tripled, and it was bad. But my life is dope, and I do dope shit. And this is what happened today. I found out that I won free El Pollo Loco chicken for the rest of my life. So, the good Lord, he taketh and then he giveth. He taketh away the prostate, he giveth the chicken. So it was I love El Pollo Loco. And Jason Sperling, no relation to our guest today, Jason Slaughter. Jason Sperling runs the whole shop at In Ocean. Helen, get Jason on the podcast. Jason posted that, his client, El Pollo Loco, was doing this Loco AI challenge where you make just a funny video using AI for El Pollo Loco, and someone would win chicken for life. So on a break, again, I'm a high output individual just to cope with the ADHD. I'm taking a break from, a deck or something I'm working on. I go on the couch outside in the plexi hut, and I spend maybe 12 minutes. It felt like 12 minutes. It was probably 28 minutes. and married a couple of takes, a little sound design, and I made this thing. It's so stupid. And I put it on my Instagram feed with the appropriate hashtags. Last night, I get a message on Instagram that you've won. And then today, they posted that I won free chicken for life. And the haters are flying in because people were like, I posted every day for a month. There's no way this guy posted once and won. He must be a cousin of someone. I don't know anyone at El Pollo Loco. I saw a post of another guy in another guy's feed and reacted to the contest. That's why he posted it, so people would participate. So if anybody's in LA or if I'm in your city and there's an El Pollo Loco, the flame broiled chicken is on me. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. See, we talked about the Magic Mind, Target, the code. Thank you again for the well wishes. You know, Mark Maron is a comedian I've known since, I think, the late 80s. And he is going off the air, and I wanted to give him a special shout out. No, Helen, he does not listen to this podcast, but he was one of the first people to have a podcast, and then he's had Obama on. He's had so many great, incredible personalities on, and great artists. It started with comedians. I was on like in 2015, 2016, I think. And I was very humbled that I could be among the people he had already had on to that point. But I wanted to say thanks because he's retiring his show. And when a professor of podcasting did like a review of this show, he said, well, you know, you copied the Mark Maron formula where you talk in the beginning, then you have the interview. And I said, well, no, I didn't basically steal Mark Maron's format. I blatantly stole his format. Like, it works. And I'm not trying to be funny or witty or anything like that. I mean, I hope I'm mildly amusing in the intro. And I always encourage you to hit that skip button. If you want to get right to Jason right now, you do it. But I just wanted to thank Mark for doing his show and being a trailblazer. Okay, Helen, cue up Jason Slaughter. You've been an inspiration both on set and off for me.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember Alexis Seeley, who's one of the best producers out there, both a line producer and an executive producer, introduced us, and she said, I think you're really going to like Jason. And you're never flustered, you're always calm, you don't yell, and you're what I call it just a top-notch first assistant director.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's means a lot coming from you, but a lot has to do with the meds that I take. So, you know.
Yeah. We'll stay on them.
Yeah.
And then personally, I see you and your lovely wife, you know, on Instagram and whatnot, going camping, towing your little camper, and just getting away for a weekend, and really maximizing. And we both have boys, and you involve them. They've been on set with us.
Yeah.
And that really did, I mean, it really was like a push towards getting my little camper and going, well, fuck it. I'm just going out for the weekend, you know?
Yeah, I remember us talking about that the first time, and I was like, absolutely. And you got like one of the coolest little campers too. It's an easy thing you can push around, and you've had it on set with us. And
well, for the record,
yes,
I didn't get it. True Gentleman Industries got the camper. It is
correct. It's headquarters.
It's headquarters. It's business.
Are you in it right now? It doesn't look like that.
I am. I'm in the camper as we speak.
There it is.
In my backyard.
Yeah.
But my dream is to take this around the country and podcast from it, you know, in the parking lot of an agency, or maybe it's a new podcast with just real people that I meet at the Buc-ee's truck stop, you know.
Or Walmart. You can stay there overnight, too.
Have you ever done that?
No. God, no.
It's called boondocking.
Yeah. No, I haven't got to that. We've become I think, we have that van too. Like I've had a Volkswagen van forever. That's what we started camping in.
I don't know if I knew that. Do you tow with it?
Cassette. No, it's just a silver. It's the silver Volkswagen.
Okay, yes.
And I wanted to stay in that for the rest of our lives. My wife was like, "We need a better bed. We need a shower." She wanted to bring it up a level, and I just kind of fought it. We ended up getting this trailer, and now I can't. Like, we have to have hookups. We have to. Yeah. So the Walmart thing, I don't think I could do that.
For the listener, boondocking, it is called boondocking, right?
I believe so, yeah.
When you stay, it's like if you were, it's a nautical term, I believe. If you were on a boat and you didn't have a slip at the dock and you just kind of go off to the side, you're boondocking. You're not actually docking in a slip. And so in the camper world, Walmart has allowed people to boondock in the parking lot. There's no electrical hookup, there's no toilet, there's no dumping your septic or whatever. But it's so smart because they know you will go in the morning and buy something.
Oh, absolutely.
Food, camping gear, flip-flops.
Yeah, get a whole new outfit.
Get a funny hat.
Yeah, why not?
The thing about it, I was going to do it. I drove this trailer with my daughter up to Seattle. And when I was going to go alone, I was going to boondock at the Walmart, like outside of Sacramento or someplace. That was the first leg. Then I found out my cousin lived 20 minutes from there and I hadn't seen him in 10 years. But I digress. So I've never done it myself. Let's get into it with, can you explain what a first AD?
What we do recently, it's a lot of stuff at home.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of housework lately. But no, on sets, we're kind of responsible for the overall running of the set, of the production from the beginning till end.
Safety, you're in charge of safety?
Absolutely. Safety is a big thing. We're in charge of the kind of the overall flow of the shoot and keeping us on schedule, keeping all the department heads notified of what's going on. So communication, from my standpoint, to all the department heads is key. That's to the producer, that's to you as a director. So yeah, we're kind of a buffer as well from client agency world to you in most points or most times.
Let me get into that in a second. Okay. But the duties of the first AD, I've always felt have a producerial quality. Mm-hmm. Like you have an allegiance to the producer and the line producer, because if you're running the ship, the director is then free to think creatively, work with the actors,
absolutely,
work with the keys. And then you have an ultimate allegiance to, I think, the director.
Always.
But that's a great answer. But what I mean is, what I was going to say was, I think by the time you get to the shoot day or days, all of that should have been communicated.
Correct.
Like, I don't wear a watch on set. I don't look at the schedule. I mean, I look at the schedule to approve it with you, right, and make sure the DP can do what they have to do. But it's really your set. From a logistics standpoint, from a technical standpoint.
True. Yeah. Yes, I have to agree.
You're hesitant to agree, Jason. You can disagree. It's just a podcast.
Oh, no.
We're not in court.
We like it. No, I totally agree. It does become our set. I think we kind of control the flow of everything for sure. But I mean, being that it is your set though too, because
sure. I'm not denying that.
The shit rolls downhill. So when you're able to operate the way you want to operate, and we kind of give you that position to operate from that and like be calm and focused on what you're doing. The rest is kind of lays on me, and then it's my tone to the rest of the crew.
Right.
That kind of sets all of that. So yeah. And it's from a producer side too. Yeah, there's a bit of that because we have to keep, in mind the budget, the hours, overtime, meal penalties, all that stuff. So yeah, we do take a big chunk of that as well.
What, I'm just writing a note here. How did you learn all that?
a loaded question. I think just years of being in this business.
What was your point of entry into filmmaking?
It wasn't where I'm at, that's for sure. I actually came into the business in high school, college. I loved photography. I was shooting a lot of black and whites, 35 mil.
Look at you.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted to pursue going through college. I just went to community college for a couple years.
Where was that?
PCC, Pasadena City College.
Locally.
Yeah. You don't want to go out of state for that. It's little for community college. So
community college, by the way, is the best.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think it's the right way to go, even if you do have, a master's degree in mind. Get those essentials out of the way. Maybe you change your mind within 2 years. You've kind of wasted 2 at a university. Parents aren't very happy about that. So,
and you get the gear.
What was that?
Well, you get the gear. The Santa Monica Community College has all the latest equipment and a studio, green screen studio, and a production studio, and a bunch of. They didn't have Alexas, but they had like Canon, whatever the Canon sort of high end, not a consumer camera.
Got it.
So high end prosumer. And back when the A7s came out, I think they had like 9 of them in boxes unopened.
Oh, wow.
And I did a seminar there, a workshop, and they gave me a tour, and I go, what's up? And I told the students, like, do you realize for your $100 a credit or whatever it is,
Yeah.
you can use this equipment over the weekend and make a film? And I recently saw none other than Spike Lee, one of my favorite filmmakers, say back in the day they went to film school just for the equipment.
Yeah.
Because, you would take out the 16 millimeter camera on the weekend. So back to you in Pasadena CC.
Yes, PCC.
Did you use a dark room? Are you that old, Jason?
Yeah. We had dark rooms. We got to spend time in there even after classes, go in on weekends and stuff. And I love that process, like just altering the negative a little bit here and there and tone. And it was just something I started to really fall in love with. And at the same time, I was able to get on we had a family friend that was in the business. She was a production manager. Begged her for a long time to get me on a job that I want to try.
Oh, wow.
And she just kept pushing me away, like, no, it's not for you.
But what did you want to do as a photographer? What did you want to do on set that you were bugging her and pestering her relentlessly?
Was my ultimate goal was I think I wanted to shoot at the time. So
gotcha.
That was kind of my in was that. So I went and did this one job, and basically I just sat out in the parking lot and watched the crew cars all day. Didn't complain, was happy to be there. And something happened with the production company we were working for. Their in-house runner was leaving. They needed somebody quick. So I jumped into that role at Johns & Gorman, which I think you had ties to at one point. Was that correct? Did you know those?
Was that Gorman, the director?
Yeah, Jeff Gorman.
Jeff Gorman?
Yeah, and Gary Johns.
No. Never had any. Who was his partner?
Gary Johns.
Never had any connection to them other than Jeff Gorman's style and comedy were always influential.
Yeah, maybe that's
and inspiring.
We got in talks about that before, I think. Maybe that's why I thought there was a connection.
And if he's listening, he's welcome on the podcast. Helen, get Jeff Gorman on the show.
Hey, Helen. Looking good today.
She's waving. She knows not to talk during the recording.
Sorry.
So you take a staff position?
Yeah, so as an in-house runner, did that for like 2 years. I admired what was going on. I tried to stay on set. Like I had to run to set. Like I tried to hang out there and they'd kick me out. They ended up giving me, they let me enroll in UCLA Extension for cinematography. I took like 2 semesters there.
What do you mean they let you?
They paid for it.
They paid for it?
Yeah, and it was like 2 days a week I'd go in, so they let me off like an hour early so I could get to class on time.
That's super cool.
Yeah, so I was kind of like on that road, started ACing, I was loading, we were on a job.
So there's film at this point. This is
this is film.
This is like late 90s?
Mid to late 90s, yeah.
You're that old?
Yeah. Can't you tell? I'm right behind you, man. I'm right there.
Get your prostate checked. That's all I'll
I
say.
did, and it was great.
Okay, good. You're good.
Yeah. Highly recommend it for everybody.
Always recommend it. Yes.
Yeah. So yes, was loading, got injured on a job, got wiped out. My back just got destroyed. I was laid out for a whole month in bed. And
oh my goodness.
probably like another 2 months after that, just couldn't work, couldn't lift cases. So as I started going back into production, I was just kind of like the office guy. And an AD that I worked with forever, Bill Coker, was an old-time AD.
I've heard of the famous Bill Coker.
Oh yeah, he's a legend for sure. We still chat actually.
Shout out to Bill Coker.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he's the man. He's in Salt Lake City now.
Helen, get Bill Coker on the show. I love that you look over there too.
I know. I just saw something outside. So, but yeah, I'm playing with you. I think that was the correct look.
Yeah, no, it works.
Okay, good. So yeah, Bill, one of my first days back to set, he always wanted me to be an AD, and I just was like, no, I'm a camera guy. So after this injury, my first day on set with him, he was like, come here. And that was the end of that. I became like his set PA. And he kind of raised me through a couple other people, also Paul DeStefano, Rhonda Ralston. I
love Rhonda Ralston. I did a 5-year run on and off with Rhonda Ralston.
Yeah.
She's takes no shit.
No shit.
And I've just noticed that there's PAs.
Yes.
And then there's like special PAs that the first AD has.
Correct.
Is there a real distinction, or is that just an unspoken?
These days it's kind of like an AD PA. Producers, production managers, let's bring AD PA.
But it's not an official position.
No, it's not. It's somebody that we're kind of grooming to bring up, trying to teach them how to do AD work as well. And you kind of work them up through a second to a second. And then eventually they take my job. So as long as we train them well, they'll do good.
So starting from the top, there's the first assistant director, which is you. Then there's the second assistant director, who I don't see as much, but I see like the two of you talking, or you're on the walkie, and then they're running the background a lot of times. Yes. They're getting people into hair and makeup. Like they're your sergeant major, right?
Yeah, they're kind of unsung heroes sitting in the back, kind of running between motorhome, set, talent holding.
And then a second is under the second.
Correct.
Is there a third second, or is it a second?
Yeah, you could qualify it as a third second, or a second. Yeah, and that's
what are they called?
Additional second. I think feature world TV is a little bit different, but that's kind of what we use the terms on commercials.
So you're on set with Bob Coker.
Bill Coker.
Yeah. Bob's his brother, who is a visual avant-garde video artist.
There you go.
You're on set with Mr. Coker. And you're like, I'm kind of liking this. I like organization. I like being part of the team. I like being in a leadership position. And then for the listener, Jason is a DGA, a Directors Guild of America First Assistant Director. They make you take safety classes and probably some budget lessons and things like that. And there's a distinct, not apprenticeship, but there's a system that they have you go through to get your hours and stuff, right?
Correct, yeah.
And so how does someone have to sponsor you?
No, not necessarily. When it might have changed since I did it 20-something years ago, but it was 600 days of work. 300 of it had to be on set. PA days, you had to show verification of it, call sheets, pay stubs.
And as a PA, or you could work?
As a PA.
Okay.
So yeah, you have to show proof of that. You send in this big book to New York. They review it. They give you the okay, and then you're in. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to start working right away, but you're on a list. Guild. Yes.
Did you first AD before you went through the DGA program?
No, I didn't. Yeah.
Because a lot of guys will do, like I know a handful of, and I say guys because I think they're all men. I've worked with several female first ADs. They've all been DGA. There's one. But my point being, I say, like at a social function, like, you don't want to go DGA? They're like, nope, don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why, but they are great and organized. And like one friend of mine's in Atlanta, and so there may not be as much work. But what is
quite a bit of work out there?
What is the reason that someone would or wouldn't want to?
Being in DGA, you have to do union DGA jobs. If you're not in the Directors Guild of America, you could then do non-union jobs, which might be busier for people in certain areas.
Yeah.
So if they were to only take DGA jobs, maybe they lose a percentage of their work because you can't do non-union jobs. So that's where I would see them not wanting to join if they stay busy enough.
Without it.
Correct.
Yeah. It's interesting because, like, when I shot in Detroit last year a couple times, and then even in Seattle, there's really, in these secondary, tertiary markets, there's only one or two people. Like in Texas, there's two or three DGA first ADs, which I have to hire as a DGA director and signatory company. And so they're either driving from or to Austin. Like, I don't even know where the guy we found it. Oh, he was in Detroit, but there was no one else.
Oh my God.
So when you're in LA, there's tons of DGA first ADs. Right.
Yeah.
When you get out, and I don't work in New York enough to comment, but I'm assuming they're there. But once you get outside of Los Angeles, it's slim pickings. I'm not complaining because there's there's a high standard of consistent safety protocol, understanding of the set. Like, I've never been let down.
Yeah.
With someone who's like, this is the only guy in Kalamazoo that can be the first AD, and they're great.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm a big proponent of the DGA first AD.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of that, with the last couple of years, the way things have been here in California, the lack of work, everything going out of town.
People moving out of town.
Yeah, I think it's really driven, and just talking to people, it's driven people out of this state to where they still have, we could call LA as our hub, but have a residency in Austin or Florida or wherever else to
Wyoming with your camper.
Yeah, exactly. Or anywhere you want, but you have to claim residency. You have to have a place of address. You have to have a driver's license from that state. So it's to work locally. Yeah. So it's I've looked into it. I've considered it, but it's a lot to do. It's a lot of stuff to kind of move your life, and it's you have a family. It's a lot harder to do. So,
are you an empty nester yet?
What was that?
Are you an empty nester yet?
Not yet. Actually, Miles, who has been on set many times,
love Miles.
Tomorrow for Bali. He's going to go live in Bali for 3 months.
Wow, and be a digital nomad. Very sexy.
Yeah, so that's his thing tomorrow. Our oldest son, he's still working on an app that he's been developing for a couple of years.
Right.
So that's out and that's doing good. So yeah, we are not full empty nesters yet, but I think we're going to end up having to leave for that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked at Nevada, simply because there's no state tax.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I've defended California for our liberalism, our social programs, and the you can't beat the weather here.
Exactly.
But that state tax in California, man,
Yeah. I mean, I think the weather is kind of the only thing holding a lot of people here now.
Yeah.
Because other than that, there's a lot of other places you could just go and escape and maybe work more.
Do you still shoot in Los Angeles the majority of your gigs?
Yes. Yeah, and yes. So for those times where we were going out of town a lot, just to avoid the cost here and tax incentives in other states, they would take us. But with all that happening, other ADs have moved to these other states. to where they don't need to take us now.
Yeah.
We don't travel as much. And so, yeah, it's finding that balance of, is it feasible? Is it worth, moving your location to keep working and stay busy enough to afford?
Yeah. I've used Chat GPT to help me compare when Nevada, by the way, just on a personal note, my mom's in Arizona. My in-laws are in the Inland Empire, a few hours east of Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. So Nevada, and my kids, my son Ben Brady moved to Greensboro, North Carolina.
He's close now.
And he'll be flying back for a gig, and he's flown back for gigs in the last, just being gone 6 weeks, and shot in Carolina already. So that's good.
Yeah, good for him.
And Jake, who you know as well, is going to move there at the end of this month here in August, which breaks my heart. Oh. So there's nothing really tying us here other than the weather and it's home,
Yeah.
And I work probably 50-50 maybe, LA and then other cities. But you're right. The talent pool behind the camera, as well as the actors, is pretty good in other places. Like in the late 90s, early 2000s, if I was shooting in Dallas, for instance, I would fly, everybody.
Yeah.
Stylist, production designer, line producer, DP, like the four of us. I remember flying and getting an Airbnb like to South Africa. We all went and we all stayed in a huge house and had a barbecue, and the budgets were big, and you took your people because that guaranteed the best work. Like, it was just understood. And while I'm a proponent of that, it has not happened. Even now, DPs, it's the budget. The budgets don't bear the cost of flying the DP, and that's married with the quality of craftspeople and technicians in these other markets.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely changed the game for sure. It's just trying to figure out how to join that and how to be in the right place for that part of the game,
Hi, it's me, Jake, the editor. You probably know Commercial Directing Film School offers in-person boot camps and online courses. But did you know my dad does one-on-one consultations? Yeah, he does. So, now you know, okay? Anyway, now back to this enthralling interview.
New question.
Pass.
No, you can't pass on any of these. Jason, this is a very important show.
Yes, sir.
Give us some advice. There's a lot of newer filmmakers listening. Give us some advice for the new filmmaker going into commercials. Maybe she's done her indie film. Maybe she did some sketch series or comedy show or, episode of something. They're into commercials now. Yeah. They're going to make a lot of money in commercials between the movies. I'm rolling my eyes for the listener. That's not always going to happen for you. What can you tell them from an experienced first AD and just filmmaker in your, a qualified filmmaker in your own right? What's some advice you would give? Like how, not just how to work with an AD, but let's start with that. How can they work with the first AD, prep and shooting?
To kind of keep it quick and simple is that I think just really trust the crew that you hire. Respect the process.
Yeah, look, it's right there on the back of the trailer.
Trust your crew, because 99% of us have been doing it a while. We're all very good at what we do. I think be open, be okay with realism as far as time goes as well. It's like, the days of having an hour and a half to shoot, a shot are gone. If you can't shoot it in 15, then you're in trouble. I think directors that I've always appreciated and I think really do well and get it and can get through schedules these days and spots are directors that have editing background.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Just because they
you know
what's going to work and what you're going to shoot and what you're actually going to use, and you're not spending time shooting a bunch of stuff that will never, ever see the light of day. Client agency sitting in the back saying, we're never going to use this.
Right. They may not like it, or they may understand why you want to shoot it and go, that'd be nice if this were a 43-second commercial.
Right.
Where they know tonally that's the client's never going to go for her eating with her mouth open that you think is really funny, or whatever it is. And I think a lot of the people in the video village have editing experience because they sit in the room or on the Zoom,
I don't know. I think sometimes, I think back in the day, they had a lot more experience with that.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of feel these days it's not that it's a bad thing, but it's younger client agencies coming in that don't have that much experience. And
interesting.
You as a director have to at times explain that, like, well, listen, you would never cut from this shot to this shot. You would never use this piece, and it takes you kind of explaining it to them and walking them through it, through the edit, for them to go, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. And I've seen you've done it a million times, other directors I work with, you have to walk them through that process sometimes. But I think as a director, just knowing how to edit and how this is going to cut together really, really helps. I think even selling the product, even getting the job,
Yeah, shoot to cut, I say.
Yeah.
Shoot to cut. I never understand, Jason, how directors even want to approach it. Maybe they have two cameras and they're just like running and gunning, getting all these shots. Because what you're really saying is that the editor then is going to be the chief storyteller.
I have a lot to pick from.
Because they have so much to pick from. I mean, I love what the editors bring to the project, but many have said it's kind of easy to figure out what you want to do because there's not many takes and there's not an overkill of coverage.
Right.
And I take the agency and the clients through the edit. And I think as I get older, I'm working with, there's no middle ground. They're either really young, like our kids' age.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's a good point. They don't have the experience. So I talk them through, like, if they have an idea for a shot, I'm the first to go, yeah, let's do it. Oh, that's a great idea. But sometimes we may have time today. We don't, but let's say we had time today to shoot that. Where's that going to go in the spot? Right. That'll never, I'm telling the younger creative, like, it's never going to make the cut.
Yeah.
And we talk them out of it. Not just to talk them out of it, like we got better things to do. Sometimes it's quicker to shoot it than talk about it.
And that's true. That's very true. There's very many times that we've done that. It's just like, instead of talking about this for 10 minutes, just shoot it, be done, and you're on to the next thing.
I find that's good with like some alternate take that someone thought of that might be brilliant. Like, what if she came in and shook her head up and down frantically? And I'm going, okay, that's weird, but yeah, let's just do it.
Yeah.
So trust your crew. I remember starting out, the EP and the line producer at the production company said, we're going to show you some people, but we're going to recommend our people that have worked for all these other directors that have been doing it for a long time. And I just went along. It was like jumping in the rapids of a river on an inner tube, and they all had inner tubes all around me. Like, you're not going to fail.
Yeah.
And it actually made the job of directing, I can't say easier, but better. And maybe there's a badge of honor coming into directing commercials where you think you have to be this all-knowing, master of every department. Tell them how to light it. I couldn't name any of the lights on set, right?
You try, though.
Oh, the binky and the twinkie and the put a half stop on the kaboobulator. I don't know. And they're always new. I don't know the cameras, the DP. What camera you want to use? I go, the good one, the new one. You want to use, I got these lenses that, Stanley Kubrick used on the space shuttle. I'm like, great, get those shuttle Kubrick lenses. That's great advice. What about evolving? What are your opinions on evolving as a filmmaker? Like whether you're a production designer, a costumer, a director, a first AD, like how have you had to adapt?
Well, I think with the realm of me starting when it was film, and then came like, the 5D came in and was like, well, film's gone. Everybody's shooting this silly little 5D thing, and then everybody started kind of going back to film, and it was, you're trying to adjust scheduling and timing of things to shoot these because the 5D came and video. It was like, well, everything's going to move faster. You need less equipment, less gear, less crew, all this. Kind of didn't work out that way. So it's kind of, that was a weird area to kind of figure out the right way for that all to work. And I think once everything started to evolve the right way, and I think when the Alexa and the Red and all that came out, we kind of had it dialed in by then, but then like even lights are changing, like you said, even to this day. It's like there's new lights on set that I haven't seen before, but they're greater. Everything's controlled through an iPad.
Yeah, the gaffer now has an iPad and is pulling diffusion up and down within the light itself, it seems.
So I think it's evolving with the technology and the new stuff that's out there. It takes a minute. And I think kind of where we're at is pretty cool, like with things like that lighting. It may take, an extra hour of pre-lighting to get these things set up and programmed. But once you get onto that shoot day and it's like you want to adjust that light or this light here, it's just, a tap on the thing and it's done instead of a guy getting on a ladder, another guy holding up a scrim. And it's just, those days I think are completely gone. I can't remember the last time we saw lights like that. It's been a while, but I think I really think people and myself are embracing what is happening right now and the technology that's there. Things have been able to speed up with new devices, Technocranes, they've been around for a long time, but I think that's just been one of the other great things that have come out to it's big, it's bulky, but in certain situations, that will save your day without, setting dolly track, moving.
Oh, yeah.
So,
What about the LED wall? Like you and I have shot just a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's funny because I remember during the pandemic, we did a Toyota couple of days on the wall, and then we did the corn. Didn't we do that corn thing? Where it was kind of like using the wall as a joke, but I see on Instagram in my feed directors using the wall all the time. And there's a friend, Kevin O'Brien, a director down in Florida, who's like, he's mastered that tool so well.
Yeah.
And 7 locations, in a day. I found the prep on it was taxing, but now it must be dialed in. We're like, 4 years into it. It's commonplace. Do you do a lot of shoots on it?
Not a lot. It's kind of like hit and miss. I did last summer in kind of a different project. Spent I think it was 4 to 6 weeks on a volume stage.
Oh, wow.
Working on something that in the beginning I was just kind of like, I shouldn't be here. This isn't going to work. And then just as things grew, it's just like what the things you can do on a volume stage and on a wall. It's pretty amazing. And it's amazing. Better. And I think there's obviously different, I guess steps or levels of these walls. Some have, the ceiling separated from the wall. Other ones are right up on it, so there's no seam, which makes a huge difference. You kind of shoot anywhere on it. Mm-hmm. For car jobs, I really, really like them because it takes a lot of the stress and worry about being out on roads and
safety.
And it's a huge safety thing.
Coordination, logistics are simplified to spinning the car. Yeah,
and you could control the light the whole time. It's not you're never losing light, and it's an amazing new thing. I don't feel it's good for everything.
Yeah.
I think it does have its little niches for sure.
Give us an example of when it wasn't right. You're like, we could have just gone to the aquarium.
I'll have to get back to you on that one. I don't know when it wasn't. I think the corn thing kind of an interesting one, and I think that stage was still trying to figure out how to dial that in. So I think we had an issue with their overhead, the monitor overhead.
Oh my goodness!
It's like a funny thing.
You know what? I'll tell you what that funny thing is real quick. This stage in the valley had a pretty decent LED wall. I want to say it was 2022 when the prices were coming down and people were investing and everything. And when we tech scouted, there was no panel in the ceiling. So we had planned to put a soft rag up to bounce light down, or not bounce light into it for an overhead source. And a week later, when we show up to shoot, because it was an early tech scout, I'll never forget, they had installed a big wall facing the floor. And we said, okay, just turn it white. And they said, well, no, that's another $5,000. I'm like, well, no, we can't put our soft rag up there because your light is there. And we're going to do that and then bounce light into it when you could just turn it on. And the technician that came with the studio was, let's say, less experienced than like at Thunder Studios, where they were one of the first to have one for commercials. So it became a whole thing. I have never used the Unreal Engine for the wall. I've always shot my own plates or acquired one, like stock footage, and we shot running footage car. I don't think that makes as much sense, but with the corn and with the Toyota spot we did, it was so specific, like that you couldn't just create it and have it look real. Although I'm amazed at what people do with the LED wall. What is something I haven't asked you that you thought I would ask you about first ADing or filmmaking? You're eating your Fruit Loops this morning. You thought, I bet he's going to ask me about not doing a Netflix series. Like, do you just like commercials?
Yeah, I really do love commercials. That's kind of what I came up in. That's where I really wanted to stay. I was fortunate to not have got stuck on the video music world for a long time. I think I did like 3 or 4 music videos in my career, and that was it, and that was enough. TV features, it's never really been something I wanted to get into, although I do love the creativeness, the beauty behind it, because I think in commercials, because of budgets, because of all this stuff, we've kind of lost the art behind it in a lot of cases just because budgets. And I think you had Brian Buckley on a couple weeks ago that I think he really hit the nail on the head with client agency world. It's good enough.
Yeah.
And him saying that just really was like, that's really what it is to them these days. It's good enough. Like, hey, it's going to look great on this. Don't worry about it. And I think from a director's point of view, that's got to be, I think,
soul crushing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've seen it happen on jobs where it's just like, you're trying to make this beautiful thing and they're just like, no, it's okay. Like, we'll take the other version of it. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's not only the aesthetic captured by the camera, I think it's also in the idea itself.
Yeah.
That people are like, it's good enough. Yeah. Brian Buckley, what a great director. And I was so flattered that he would do the podcast.
Yeah.
And he was incredibly nice and generous with his time. And one of the things I loved most was, here he was sort of the white whale. Like, can I get him on the podcast? He's, one of the best directors and Super Bowl king and great comedy and poignant short films and documentaries.
Yeah. And
he was just a nice, ordinary guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't mean that as a slight. I mean, it was refreshing that, I thought he would talk for 20 minutes and you couldn't shut him up. Brian Buckley, blah, blah, blah. Helen was like, wrap it up, Brian. I kid. Jason, the show is called Respect the Process. And this has been,
yes, sir.
Time has flown by. Every guest, including Brian, and when Coker gets on here, We end this way. What does respect the process mean to you?
I think you mean in as far as work goes, or in just life itself, or both?
That's up to you. You're the guest.
I think we kind of touched on earlier in as far as work goes, is just
Yeah. Give me a 2-part answer.
all right, 2-part. I think as far as work goes, it's just respecting each other's jobs. And like I said earlier, you hire these people to do their job. I think this really goes a lot for client agency too. They hire you as a director to do a certain thing.
Trust.
You've talked about it. You've done treatments. You've done all these things. When you get to the shoot day, let you do you. Do what you promised you're going to give them. Let him shoot, or let her shoot, and don't go to other departments asking them to change things without going through the director first, because it's ultimately your vision.
That's one of my pet peeves, by the way.
Yes, I know. We've seen that before. So I think it's just really respect the process. If there's something you feel could be better, go speak with the director. Talk to him about it. He'll decide if it works. He or she will decide if it works and pass it down from there. And then I think in life, part 2 is just kind of understanding. I think everything happens for a reason. I think just understanding that there's steps you have to go through to achieve that goal, whatever the goal is. And that you can't cheat it. There's no shortcut to it.
Mm-hmm.
Go through the process, go through the steps, whether it's going to be tough.
It's like AA. You got to do the steps. You got to make amends.
We're on step 4 right now. But yeah, I think it's just respect what is happening, that you have to go through a process to get to where you want to go. And it'll be hard. You'll learn things, but in the end, if that's the goal you want to achieve, you got to go through those steps.
That's a great answer. I like that part too, is so much. Someone was explaining to me philosophically that often in life, the things that taste delicious, metaphorically in the beginning, they're poison. Like think of sugary treats.
Yeah.
Or, that margarita, you're going to end up with a hangover, but it's so good going in, but at the end, it's not going to be good. And then conversely, things that take a little time, maybe don't taste as good at first, turn out to be good for you. Right? Like turmeric. I don't know. It doesn't taste good, but it's really good for your body and mind.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, thank you for finally, after years of badgering you, being on the show. Great knowledge nuggets for new directors, and I can't wait to see you on set.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It was good to be here, and then understand it's sweeps week, so you got to get these ratings up. So
I'm going to drop this real quick.
That's right. Get it on. Yeah, thank you very much, Jordan. I appreciate it. It was fun talking with you.
Well, thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Commercial Directing Film School's mission is to help filmmakers direct commercials professionally. With online courses and in-person boot camps, we demystify the process to get you to the next level, all taught by your accessible mentor, filmmaker Jordan Brady.
True Gentleman Industries. We make commercials.